So we're not even a month into 2025, and I can tell you right now, this year is finna be insane. So as many of you guys probably already know, TikTok is getting scheduled to be banned tomorrow around 1 p.m., which is still kind of crazy to think about because I've only been creating content on TikTok for about like a solid year. I created content kind of farther back, but I don't really consider that, truth be told, like a contribution to my growth as a TikTok content creator because I wasn't really like posting content that was like, I don't know. I mean, I just feel like I wasn't really posting to the extent that I thought I would be, the same way I am now compared to like back then. So TikTok being banned definitely does kind of suck for my end as well, because I personally was kind of taking TikTok a little bit more serious around this time. But you know, it is what it is. And truth be told, I really wanted to become a content creator on YouTube anyway. Like that was one of the main platforms I wanted to grow an audience on. So I don't want to say this to sound ignorant, but TikTok being gone wasn't really something I had like, I don't know, like didn't really fear too much. I guess we could say it like that. But if you are a content creator that has been posting videos on TikTok, I'm sure many of you guys are already planning on posting your content over here on YouTube, on Instagram, and really just any platform that allows you to post short form content. Because if you're not distributing your content onto different platforms, stuff like this can happen and you're pretty much left in a very bad position. So I personally don't want to be the person to say this, but I definitely think the TikTok ban could be a possible lesson to show creators that being only known on one platform and not being versatile with as many as you possibly can be the downfall to your journey and also your career as a creator. So with all that TikTok stuff out the way, I want to kind of talk about 2025 so far for me and essentially how I feel like it's going so far. So I told you guys in the last video that I made that I want to make 2025 the year of impact, right? The year where we go after great things and we actually make sure that this year becomes the year that, compared to the others, is the year where we can show ourselves that we can make absolute monumental change that actually impacts our lives, right? So I want you guys to think of back to 2024, right? Last year, the start of last year, actually. And I want you to think of all the things you told yourself when that year started, right? Oh, this year is gonna be different. I'm gonna finally get in the gym. I'm gonna finally start creating content. I'm gonna make me some more money, right? I'm gonna do all these amazing things. And I want you to also think of how quickly, maybe like a couple of weeks later. In fact, actually, let's make it more accurate. I believe it was January 10th, which is known as National Quitters Day, where most people drop their New Year's resolutions and their goals. And I find that kind of crazy because I didn't even know about this date. You know, it might be January 10th, it could be the 17th, like I heard someone else say. So, like, the date kind of varies, but the principle still remains the same. There is a day that is dedicated towards people falling off of the same goals they set like weeks prior. And if that does not tell you that many people go into the new year with a lot of motivation and momentum that they claim they're going to maintain throughout the entirety of the year, just to drop it, I don't know what will, right? There being a specific date for it just lets you know that this is currently a big problem that a lot of us tend to face whenever the new year comes. And I believe there are some ways we can go about doing it and to make sure that we actually make this year, 2025, the year of impact. And the way I think we should go about doing it is to do two things. For one, is to stack up the small wins, okay? On my dry erase board, which you can't see right now, but I might flip the camera over. Actually, I'm not gonna do that because truth be told, I'll show you guys in another video. But I have a list of daily wins that I'm trying to stack up every single day. So some of the most common ones for me personally are making my bed. I make my bed almost every morning since I was like 14 years old, and I feel like it has served me amazingly in terms of actually just having a very good, stable start to a routine. I have things like working out, training, which essentially kind of fall into the same category of just doing something physical for your body. Then I have things like working on a course, which as you see right now, I have a little setup with my computer and my monitor. I typically work on my course on Coursera or really any other course that I have, where I just kind of tend to further my development in skills and understanding of certain things. And then I have things like reading, which is very good. Right now, I have the book Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. This is my second read of the book, honestly, because this book is really, really good. I actually started reading this last night because I finished another book, but I didn't want to really have that book contribute to the goals of reading this year because I started reading that book last year and I just want to kind of start off with like a new book to read for the year. And this one is really, really good. If you guys are interested in anything in money, understanding infants, investments, and just kind of like the psychology that goes around people that make a lot of money and people that don't. This book will definitely help you with that. Now, the second way that you can actually work on increasing the chances of you succeeding in 2025 is to put yourself in positions that will cause you to grow indefinitely, right? Meaning they force it. They force you to grow. If you are someone who, let's say you're in a very comfortable position, you make some money at your job, maybe you live with your parents like I do, and you're not really doing anything that causes you to just kind of light a fire under you and go after something great. It is so easy to stay in this position for the rest of your life, if I'm being very honest, because we don't really have a motivation or a need to change, right? All the food I have is in the fridge downstairs, right? I have my little workstation, I have a bed, I have a roof over my head, I have clothes on my body. I don't really need a, you know, a drive or a reason to get out of bed every day compared to somebody who doesn't have these things and who needs to work extra hard to even get a chance to maintain these things. And it also goes along with, being appreciative of understanding, but to also understand that you need to just go after something and go after something that's going to cause you to go and grow. Okay, regardless of how you think you may perform in that time, maybe you get a little awkward, maybe it's uncomfortable, maybe it's a little weird, but it causes growth regardless. I think these two things, if you combine them throughout the entirety of this year, will make sure that you become the best possible version of yourself and actually make year 2025 the year of impact. But that's enough out of me because I do have a lot of stuff I have to do for today to finish off. But I want you to take this video into consideration whenever you decide to go about your New Year's resolutions, your goals, and really just anything you have planned for this year. And hopefully you achieve everything that you set out to achieve. And I hope you have a good day, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.